Welcome to another episode of Out of the Spirit Box with Heather, Avani, and Vale. Today we have a special guest, Jack.
Hi.
You know who I believe more often than not when it comes to spiritual stuff? Native Americans. When they talk about spiritual shit, I'm like, you know what you're talking about.
I agree with that so much.
I'm like, you tell me what to do, I'll listen to the letter.
All right, but there is a certain amount of that.
Matter of fact, you're right though.
well, there's a certain amount of that.
Because I also believe they will curse the fuck out of me.
I really respect Native Americans and their culture.
Right.
I don't know
they
a
have
lot
like
about it.
longer, more compact lore. Like their history goes longer than most.
Right, and that I get, but like, I believe Native Americans as more of a statement of history and like leadership, like spiritual leadership type shit, and not there's an Indian witch doctor who's selling this, that, and the other thing. Like, no, I don't believe that.
No, there's an Indian witch doctor who, believe me, I'm 3% Cherokee.
Yeah, those guys. Fuck
those are
guys.
not the guys. Okay, no, those aren't the guys.
And like,
I just want to change the subject here real quick to talk about how hilarious Ginger is. And Jack, if you haven't looked, because I was laughing really hard at that.
I looked at it and was like, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh.
I couldn't help it.
But it's not wrong.
Where are the caveman ghosts?
That's still, based on your belief of how ghosts are created, there should be some fucking ancient caveman who had regrets about his life. He was just like,
I subscribe to the opinion that most ghosts are tulpas, which tulpas are created creatures from when you think about it hard enough and you're always talking about it enough, it's gonna show up. It's one of those things that's like in your brain, but except you're pushing it outwards.
Right.
Power through human consciousness, yeah.
That is one of the ones where I'm like, yeah, that seems legit. A lot more than, some of the bullshit that flies around.
Yeah. Shit. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Probably words.
I love you, Heather.
It's gone.
I live for that face.
Is it still there face?
The fuck you, Jack face.
Oh, no, I didn't give that. Alright, so what's the other thing? You had more for the Strand, or was it something else?
It was somewhere else and something else.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So like, this was much more of like in my mind, a historical, like, human ghost.
Okay.
Type shit, and not, I walked into the spirit world randomly. It was so, I was working at Alaire State Park at the time.
Oh, that's where we're going.
Yeah, you're gonna dread it. But
I'm excited.
I was working there, and the volunteer group there who puts on reenactments asked me, hey, do you want to be part of our haunted hayride? It's not historically accurate or anything. We're gonna have like a Jersey Devil part and a hillbilly part and a bunch of weird ass shit. And we're gonna try and
do the Jersey Devil for Bonnie.
Okay, story time.
So, story time. So yeah, I was with the volunteer group, and they were like, do you want to be part of our haunted hayride? And I was like, I don't know. And then they were like, if you want, we'll make sure that you can do a regular reenactment day, and we'll just have you come in and you can do whatever you want. And I was like, whatever I want? And they were like, yeah, is there something you want to do? I've been going to Alaire State Park since I was a child, and I've always wanted to do the blacksmith. So they were like, oh yeah, well, whenever our blacksmith comes back from his vacation, we'll just put you in there with him so that you don't get, put on fire randomly.
Put on fire randomly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so
that
I was
would
like,
be nice.
So I was like, done deal. I'll do the spooky shit, and you know, you let me hammer on some steel for a while. And they're like, cool, done, perfect. So I go, and I'm doing this haunted hayride, and they put me. It's like a loop out in the woods, and I'm like the middle bit, and I'm the comic relief, so I'm at the farthest end away from everything. And I'm playing a hillbilly. I'm playing the comic relief. I'm a hillbilly who busts open out of an outhouse with his pants down, and he's asking why someone stole his pig. That was my character.
I love that. That's perfect for you. Why'd you steal my bag?
Yeah, and I put on the most offensive accent I could think of. It was great. It was wonderful. I had people try to heckle me, and I just went right back at them. It was fun. Great time. There were like 3 nights of it. It was like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday where we were doing it at night, and I was the same guy all 3 nights because apparently I was a big hit. So, and there were, and like in between tractor rides, and we could easily hear the tractor coming from like the start. So we, you know, had long breaks in between, and we just like, they had a fire set up out there because it was fucking cold. So we were sitting around the fire, each drinking like some cider and stuff like that, having a good time, waiting for the next tractor. And a dude walks up in our kind of clothes, where it was just like not great. Didn't look well put together. Looked kind of like a hick. And we were just like, "Hello, who are you?" And you're like, "Oh, I just got told to come out here. I'll just put me in a spot." We were like, "Okay." And he goes, I was like, you hide behind this tree, and when you come out, you'll like, you know, walk out and just kind of like stalk the tractor as it's coming through, and then Jack's gonna scare the bejesus out of everyone and make them laugh real quick. And he was like, cool, I can do that. And we watched him basically do just that for the rest of the night. And then we're like, and the last tractor came through, we're like, cool, all done. And we like started walking back, and then we looked around, and then there was one less of us, and it was that guy. And we're like, did he just wander off? What happened? Is he just a prankster who like was wandering through to fuck with us? And so we talked to the park, like the rest of the staff, and we're like, hey, did you send someone out to our section, like an extra volunteer? And they're like, no. Did you see someone walk back here? Because it's pretty heavily wooded. It would be hard to just walk through the woods without being seen and not be seen like coming in from a trail or something. And they were like, no. Like, fun. That's not what I wanted to hear from this spooky place where I have to come tomorrow night. So I come back the next night. I'm at the same place. And like, instead of like seeing him walk up to us like he did the second night, because it was like the second of the 3 nights the first time. So instead of that, I bust out of my thing, and I see something trailing the tractor as it comes around, and it didn't really fully have a shape. So I just look, and it didn't like, and by the time it got to the fire, it wasn't there. So I was like, okay.
So like just like a mass of darkness?
Not even like a mass, like just like an extra bit of smoke or something. Like just a little smoke, just. And so tractor goes by, I'm like, let me see if that happens again. And it does. So
And
stupid.
Did it look the same the second time?
It looked pretty similar, but it looked like it had more of a shape.
Okay.
So I look at it and I'm like, this is weird. And I talk to everyone else. I'm like, did you see that? And they're like, did we see what? Don't freak us out here. That's some bullshit. And I was like, all right. And at some point, I just, like, while we're prepping for the next trailer, I look over to the tree where we told the dude to hide, and I see a shadowy shape there, just hanging by the tree, ready to track the trailer again. And I'm like, nope. Close myself into my outhouse and down.
Did you see it for the next trailers?
So after that one, I didn't go over there and check because I'm not that stupid. I wasn't about to go say hi.
Yeah.
But the fact that the first night someone came up and said, can you do this? Like, I do think that was an actual person. That wasn't like some spirit or anything like that. That was a person who was pranking us and being annoying and like just walked in from like a bike path or something like that. But the third night that we were there and doing this and something was tracking it, I think someone heard us say it or something heard us say it and was just like listening to orders.
You think the ghost was just like, oh shit, the other guy didn't show up for his job. I guess I'll have to do
No, I don't think that's what happened, but like so one of the thought processes behind ghosts is like they're seeking like some kind of purpose or whatever, and some of them will just repeat an action continuously once they have something to do.
Yeah, residual. Are you
like a
talking about?
residual thing. And this thing, whatever it was, lost whatever it was supposed to do, either because time degraded everything around there or whatever, and we gave it something to do on accident.
Follow the tractor.
For whatever reason, this story reminds me of another story I heard relatively recently. That, so it was some teenagers who just were throwing the party for their kid siblings, and their kid siblings wanted the party to be Slenderman themed from the Slenderman game.
Oh,
so they printed out like journals and clues, and they had like a whole
Vale,
scavenger
do you have
hunt.
a fan going?
Something is coming through.
Yeah,
Every
you
time
have
you talk.
background noise.
I have nothing.
All right, start talking. No, you're good now. It's gone.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
went away.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's just you would have hated that
It
later
was
in editing.
quite loud, yeah.
What the fuck was
Yeah,
that?
so I would start over. It just was like almost like white noise. Like
Yeah. It's more spooky shit, guys.
No, that sounded like a computer fan.
119, Vale.
That's fucking weird, though. To be honest, let me move
It's
my.
happening.
Oh, I hear it again.
It's
yeah,
happening again.
I heard it just there. It sounded like a computer fan or something like that.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Move my mic over here.
Sounds like a plan.
I don't know what it could be because there are absolutely no fans on.
I hate that. Anyway.
So yes, they're throwing a Slenderman game themed party,
Okay.
and two of the brothers decided to dress up as Slendermen to chase around the little kids so they could have fun. And the kids knew that the brothers were dressed up as Slendermen. So they were having the party, and throughout it, the kids are looking for the clues and going around and having fun. And there were Slendermen chasing the children. And the adults noticed that there were 4 Slendermen.
Nope.
And at one point, the Slendermen were chasing the other Slendermen. So 2 Slendermen were chasing after the Slendermen who were chasing the children, but the children all thought it was a game. At no point did they think there was anything wrong. So at the end of the party, the older kids are like, "Oh, let's go inside. Let's finish this. Get this game inside. Let's not play out near the woods anymore."
Yeah,
and they take the kids inside. Then they stay outside looking for the other Slenderman.
Hold on.
Why?
Hold on. If I am throwing a party, and I know that I have 3 people dressing up as a monster, and I see a 4th monster, the party's over. Okay.
But, like, they didn't want to alarm the kids because at no point did the children ever realize there were other Slendermen other than the brothers.
Kids,
Right.
we have cake. You should come inside right now. You know, this game, it's getting stale. Let's go inside.
The
Mommy's
thing
gonna
for
get
me,
her gun.
that is like, but that's like the biggest example for me of the ghosts that you were talking, the tulpas or whatever, where it's like it's something that gets thought about so much that it like manifests into reality, because that's exactly what Slenderman supposedly is.
Yeah, can we talk about that? First of all, Slenderman is one of the few creepypasta that scare the shit out of me. I do not like it.
Like, it started as this weird, creepy story on the internet and became so widely spread that some people actually started believing in it hard enough that, who knows, maybe it manifested.
Slenderman is like a prime example of something that could turn into a tulpa. Something that has so many people thinking about it. Something that has so many people's energy towards this one thing that...
True crime insert.
Yes.
Those two girls.
Yeah, I literally just listened to that episode of the podcast I'm on right now. What is it? Explore with Us. They talk about all these true crime things, and I got to listen to and watch the interview with those 2 girls, and it was wild.
Isn't it?
Clearly there's neurodivergence going on as well, but just the thought processes going on and just how they were in response to almost killing their friend. Or did she die? I don't think she died.
I think they murdered the fuck out of their friend.
She did die because she was still alive when they found them. But yeah, no, so just talking about we had to, and the one girl being
Slenderman told us to.
Yeah, the one girl was just like, my friend said she had to die because of Slenderman, so we killed her.
Right, so there was the main girl who was committing the murder. Yeah. She was like, she believed that Slenderman and blah, blah, blah. And she had completely had it in her mind that she was going to kill this other girl, her other friend. The second friend
lived.
who...
The girl lived? Okay.
Yeah.
So the second friend was just following the leader. She really had no thoughts of her own.
Yeah.
And she was just following after the main friend.
The main girl who was orchestrating it all, was that the girl with the glasses? Do you know? Or was it the dark-haired girl?
Okay, so
I don't remember what they look like.
You listened to this recently, and I listened to this like 5 years ago.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just didn't, because they both kind of blamed each other, but I don't remember who. I don't think it told us who was definitively like the actual ringleader, because they were both saying like, oh, she decided to do this and she decided to do that.
One of the girls was very into creepypastas, and her mother was into creepypastas, and her mother got her into Slenderman. And she was the main girl who was like, oh, we're gonna do this for Slenderman, because she got it in her head that it was real and this was actually a thing.
Yeah.
And she couldn't tell the difference between real and make-believe, and she convinced her other friend to kill.
And they stabbed her a lot, didn't they?
19 times.
Yeah.
When did this happen?
This happened on May 31st in 2014. And the girls were 12 years old.
Yeah.
So, what is so I think someone...
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. That was the right date. I'm sorry. My brain moved numbers on me, and I was like, fuck, I just said the wrong thing.
So, I remember watching... I've watched a lot of the crime procedural shows and all that sort of fun shit. specifically Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
I love that shit. And I feel like there was a particular episode that they actually based off of this because something very similar happens. Where it's
I'm sure they did.
Where
this is a huge deal.
But they took it a step further because they were saying the two girls killed the one girl, blamed it on a monster. No one knows entirely what happened, and like a fourth girl decided to, make them actually deal with it, because what ended up happening was the two girls killed the one person for, I don't know, something stupid, like jealous that she was stealing her boyfriend or some stupid shit like that. I don't know.
Well, in real life, it was the main girl, which Ginger said was Morgan Yersi?
Geyser.
She's the one with Geyser, with dark hair and glasses. But like, as I remember it, she was childhood friends with the one that was murdered. But they grew apart, they moved away, and she became friends with the second girl. And the two of them mostly the first girl, made up the plan to kill the third one the next time they hung out together, the three of them.
Yeah, like the way I heard and saw it, like on the over-dramatized episode, that apparently that wasn't enough for them, was like a fourth one came in to expose that the other two had murdered the third for stupid reasons, and they were the actual murderers, not some random third person.
That's so funny. I when I was watching the interviews, I thought it was the other way around. I thought Anissa was the mastermind, because her story was all over the place. That's so interesting.
Yeah,
because Morgan
were given some information.
Yeah, thanks, Lindsay.
So, sorry, I'm mixing names up. Morgan was diagnosed with schizophrenia. She's institutionalized.
Yeah.
Anissa.
She was also diagnosed with something, I think.
Oops, I am on the wrong.
Again, it's been like 5 years since I heard about this story.
Yeah.
So even me
to
recounting, I could have had some information wrong because my brain is not perfect.
Because to me, this sounds like is more like, oh, the one person was obviously sick, and someone like didn't like her other friend, so just made her believe more and more in this thing until like they did it all, basically like manipulated them into doing it on their own.
Yeah, that's pretty much like, I think it was both girls had some sort of neurological disorder, and the one was best friends with the victim for a long time, and then Anissa came along, and Anissa apparently didn't like the best friend. Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah. It doesn't say, I don't see where it says what Anissa was diagnosed with.
Maybe she wasn't. I could have sworn they said she was diagnosed.
Maybe she was just a manipulative bitch.
Oh no, hold on, I think they were both diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Okay, yeah.
Well, if you're both seeing Slenderman, think you got a diagnosis there.
No, they didn't. I don't think either of them said they actually saw Slenderman. They just wanted to become Slenderman's proxy. And they were like, do that by killing.
Which, like, none of that sounds like a good thing. Why would you want that? Why would you
Because they don't know. Because all kids want is to be accepted.
Well, Anissa said that she genuinely felt that if they didn't do this to become Slenderman's proxy, Slenderman would kill their family.
Which, like, that's a mental health thing. I get that. But, like, to me at least, like I don't... Granted, now I understand that they had mental issues anyways. But that, to me, does not sound like something you would want to be. There's no acceptance in being a lone monster wandering the woods eating people. That's not acceptance. That's not finding your purpose in life. That's being creepy and and isolating yourself. None of that is good.
To be fair, I mean, it sounded more like they knew that it wasn't, gonna be a walk in the park for them, but also it really sounded like at least Anissa's main motivator was, I don't want Slender to kill my family.
Okay.
Right.
So, Anissa was found guilty or found innocent based on, let's see, not guilty by mental disease or defect. So she was put in a mental institution. She's since been released, but it does not give an official diagnosis for her. Most likely because she was technically found not guilty. So I don't think it has to be public record.
No, that doesn't.
But Morgan, because she was found she did accept a plea offer. So she didn't have to go to trial, which is a plea offer to be guilty. So she went to a mental institution. She pleaded guilty, was found not guilty by mental disease or defect, and was diagnosed with schizophrenia, which is genetic in her family, and went for 25 years to life in a mental institution.
Well, like, with those things, usually when you're trying to make a pact, it's like when people try and make a pact with the devil, you're doing it for a specific gain, even though this gain may or may not exist.
Yeah.
For them, it was the Slenderman by proxy. That sounds like a diagnosis. Munchausen by proxy. Slenderman by proxy.
That's such a scary story, but it really is just like the perfect storm of shit coming together.
Yeah. But that's always what it is. It's always the perfect storm of shit coming together. It's never,
fair.
Like, this person just had one bad day. Like, no, it's never that, because that's even rarer.
Well, no, that shit happens. And there are definitely, like, it's not like rapists and murderers are all just like the perfect storm of shit came together. It's definitely not that. But like something as horrific as this, yeah, I mean, it definitely was just really bad shit.
Yeah.
Just all coming together at the same time.
All the shit stars shit aligned.
Yeah.
To make a shit show.
To make a
Plus,
shit
the
show.
shit planet was in retrograde, so you know.
Plus, all the shitty planets were in shitty retrograde.
The moon was full.
That's the one I hate the most.
Yeah.
That the moon being full somehow affects us other
that's
than gravity.
crazy though. There's no reason why a full moon should cause X or Y thing. But working in a hospital on a full moon, you'll have the most and the weirdest cases. Statistically, every single fucking time. There's no fucking reason everyone turned into a werewolf because the fucking moon is out.
It's the same thing that Jack was talking about earlier with the Tupacs, or what did you call them? Tupas?
Yes, the Tupacs. The rapper.
Yeah,
Tulpa?
I know that. Tulpa! There we go.
Tupac? I was like, Tupac, what is she talking about?
I said
Because
Tupac
there are many of Tupac. There are several for sure. Definitely more than one.
Yeah, if mediums were real, why didn't they find out how he died?
Hold on. I said Tupac because it was the closest thing to what I was hearing in my head, which wasn't Tupac, but I said Tupac.
Which also wasn't Jack, which was me.
It's the same concept as the
Tulpa.
Tulpas. Now I've got Tupac.
Just call them tacos. It's at least less offensive. Jesus.
It's the same concept where you put enough thought into it and give it energy, people are gonna think that, oh, it's a full moon, crazy shit's gonna happen, and then they kind of make it happen themselves. But also, I do think there is some things that might be affected because the full moon does, do things to the tides. No, for real.
Yeah.
It has natural
Gravity.
things that moons do. The gravity shifts, the tides are different. Certain natural flowers only bloom with the fucking full moon. Fucking.
I love that. I think that's magical.
It's not. It's just less sunlight.
It's magical, Jack.
Yeah,
Let some
It's
magic
certain-
be in the world.
yeah.
It's a
God damn
certain
it.
amount. It's
I
beautiful and gorgeous.
need
It's also
magic.
science.
I need
It
magic.
doesn't mean
Beautiful
science
things
can't
are
be
magical.
Science can be magical, Jack.
Yep. Remember what Thor said? On his planet, magic and science are one and the same. See? That's what's holding us back. People like you.
No, it's that science has
Yo,
moved
she
so far
just
ahead that
quoted
everything's
that
taken
fucking-
science.
No.
I'm proud of myself.
That was a good one.
Thanks. All right, where were we before we got into Slenderman?
Well, Jack was talking about the guy who was following the tractor, and it reminded
Oh
me of
yeah,
Mm.
Tractor Ghost. Yeah.
Yeah. But this was one where I didn't tell everyone afterwards because I was like,
Let
this
me know.
doesn't seem like something other people dealt with.
So wait, y'all just had some guy. First of all, fuck the ghost. Y'all just had some guy walk out of the woods and just volunteer to chase a tractor.
Yes.
What the? Why is there not any more? What the fuck? And then he disappeared back into the woods, probably.
Yeah, no. Well, so there is it's not like a really well secured park. It wasn't like we had security around the park being like, "Oh, yeah, make sure you sign the list for the volunteer stuff." It was like, "No." Like
Did you
maybe
guys-
half
Did you guys use costume makeup of any sort?
some people did. I was not forced to because I was supposed to just be a hillbilly. I just rubbed some dirt on myself.
Did the guy who appeared from the woods and volunteered, did he have anything on his face?
Not really.
Huh. Weird.
weird. Rude. Why are you calling him weird? Damn.
Well, because like, I'm not calling him weird. Well, the guy?
Yes, you
Yeah.
are.
Yes, the guy. Not Jack. We know he's weird already.
Yeah,
came
no,
out
that's
of
why
the
she's dating
woods.
me in the first place.
He came out of the woods and then disappeared after. And nobody let
so-
him in.
So
You
here's the thing.
you didn't hear this guy walking off when he disappeared?
No, because so there is a thing I've seen where like we just started walking back and like chatting amongst ourselves, and then at some point he must have just like fallen back or something. Is what we thought. So we were just like, oh, well, he fucked off, and then we just decided to double check on his,
Is that place, if they have the haunted hayride when we go tonight, I want to watch that place specifically.
I don't know for sure if they're still doing the haunted hayride.
It says it has
But-
many attractions, so we'll see. But we're definitely doing some ghost hunting when we go.
If there is a haunted hayride, I require you take video.
I am not going on the haunted hayride because I don't want to piss myself. I do not like being chased. I don't
Yeah.
like being touched, grabbed. I have
Jack, I'm gonna need you to go on the haunted hayride and take video.
You're gonna have to take one
Yeah.
for the team, Jack.
Heather, just have a
Apparently.
seat, eat a snack,
I won't want to eat a snack because people
scroll
are chasing
Pinterest.
a possible actual ghost is in that hayride course.
Clearly, it didn't hurt him before, and it might see Jack and be like, "Hey, friend."
I don't
Like,
know.
I
if
remember
this
you
ghost
from
is
all
gonna
these
be in
years
a-
ago.
I don't know if it's going to be in a good mood tonight, and I don't really want to find out.
We're not asking you to go. We said you sit down somewhere and have a snack, and Jack can go.
Oh, okay. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, of course you are.
Hello, Jack.
I exist.
He agreed
I
to
heard
this
you.
He agreed.
before you were confused.
Yeah,
Heather, you were the one lost here.
Mhm.
very.
I'm always lost. I live in a perpetual state of lost. In fact, my state's name is Lost.
Yeah. She doesn't know about the TV show, though.
I do know about the TV show. I just don't watch it because it's stupid. It's a stupid show.
That particular show was funny as hell to me because so many people called it ahead of time. Everyone who saw that was like, it's obviously purgatory. And they were just like, and the writers were like, no, it's not. And they tried to write other shit to make it seem not like purgatory, and then in the end they're just like, it's purgatory.
Like, no, that's... How did you guys find out?
Exactly, yeah.
So, So everybody else saw the guy that night. Maybe it was just some guy walking in the woods and he was like, this looks fun.
I don't know, because there are houses around the area, so that's why we were like, it doesn't seem like it's something particularly, like, agreed. Like, it didn't seem like, oh, this is someone dangerous, we should run away.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we were also like, well, that's weird, we don't like it.
Like, he shouldn't be here.
Sorry, Ginger distracted me with something I'm perceiving as a threat.
What?
No.
What is happening?
Ginger just made a meme just for Heather.
And it's in the podcast. Anyone who watches YouTube, I hope you enjoy seeing this meme.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Ginger just gets to lurk and do commentary.
That's
Every time.
Oh, God.
That's a good meme, Ginger. That's a good
phenomenal.
One. I can't even be mad.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, so that was the
love you too, Jen.
that was the spirit in the
Not the gumdrop
hayride.
buttons.
The gumdrop buttons. God damn.
Every time when somebody says Ginge, that's what runs through my head.
Oh. I was very confused as to why you said that.
The gumdrop button.
I thought you were referring to your work thing. Your marketing thing.
First off, that was brilliant. And
it was. Alright. Alright, so we have the theater story. We have the haunted hayride story. Do you have anything else?
Nothing that specific. Nothing that, like, obviously something was going down. You know, all the rest of the stuff I have is just, like, weird little things that may or may not have been a big deal.
So there's nothing, like anything that you think is probably paranormal, but also there's that skeptic bit?
A lot of, when it comes to stuff like that, I have a tendency to just be like, yeah, that's definitely not. Because, like, there are reasons for all the other things that I've ever bumped into and stuff like that. There's never been a bit where it's been like, yeah, this is really creepy, and like, I get spooked by shit all the time. You see me play horror games.
Yeah.
But that's not an indicator of, oh, there's some actual spooky shit going down. It's an indicator of, I can be a little bitch sometimes.
Well, okay, so thinking about these I can be a little bitch sometimes moments, how often in your life have you had that, like...
that sense, that
yeah.
feel?
Yeah.
I would say I've probably had that feel 4 or 5 times.
4 or 5 times?
Yeah. Like, so there were those 2 times. There were a couple other times where I felt like something was going down, but I couldn't tell if it. One time was in a church, which was, you know, lovely.
What happened in the church?
So, there was a small period of my life where, like, I was still never religious, but I liked a bunch of kids in a particular youth group at a Baptist church because they were like, oh yeah, we listen to really cool music and have a good time. And
Bill,
you know,
I thought you were slowly raising something. I was like,
sometimes,
what the fuck?
and sometimes we go on like little adventures and have trips and fun shit like that. And they were pretty convinced that, like, oh man, Jack really likes us. We should like try and see if he wants to be baptized into our church. And I was like, no, thank you, because you didn't ask me about that. So no, I'm good. I'm ready to not be part of your church ever. But but there was
Me too.
But there was one point where we were at the youth group and they were like, this is like, we're gonna have like a little meditative time or some shit like that. We're gonna hang out and like we already talked, like had a fun time, talked about the Bible a little bit, and maybe learned a moral lesson somewhere along the way. And I was like, cool, fun stuff. And they're like, so now we're just gonna like take a couple minutes to go up to the church and pray. And I was like, I'll at least just sit there and hang out for a while. Like, I was never really gonna be
Might as well.
actually praying. That was not my shtick, let's say. But yeah, so as I was like, you know, just sitting there, like I almost went into like, I don't know what to call it really, like a meditative state. Like I just had a very out of body type experience where like I was just sitting there kind of meditating, and like at the same time I was like seeing myself meditate in a weird way, like from the outside. So that was one of those weird things where I was like, this isn't where I thought this was going to happen to me, but okay. Like I was like, I don't know if this is what they call a religious experience, but I don't think it is. It doesn't feel quite right. And then I was just like, all right, well, what else is going down? What else is happening in the world? And I, like, for some reason, I just was like, let's check in on the other people in the area. And I, like, couldn't get too far away from my body or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't know, like, it felt tied in a way. I don't know. I was just like, yeah, this is weird. Because, like, I could hear their voices from an area where I was like, I should not be able to hear what they're saying and talking about and doing. And then at some point, the pastor, like, came up to check on me because apparently I'd just been there for a while.
It's
And
like
I
start
didn't
poking with the stick.
Yeah.
Are you
Well,
okay?
Like, he
Jack?
shook me on the shoulder, and, like, I just, like, snapped open and snapped back to me because, like, apparently a lot of time had passed, and I didn't realize it. Which, that's one of those things where I'm like, it could easily have just been something like,
Just
I don't know, like,
dissociating.
just dissociating, or just having, like, you know, a generally, like, ADHD, I've zoned out and lost time type of things. Because that happens on a regular basis now. But
But do you have that same feeling though?
no, not all the time.
No,
It was
what
just that was like a specific time where I was like, this was a weird thing that happened to me at one point, and I'm not sure why it happened to me, so let's just act like it, you know, not act like it didn't happen, but just be like, alright, file this away for later, for when I might have more information on what the fuck just went down.
I mean, I was like listening to a thing yesterday where a guy was talking about how in certain like breathing and concentration, or just like yeah, and just pretty much in a way of breathing, like how you can fall into a trance and not realize you're fallen into a trance, like outside of any religious thing or nothing. You could have been
And that's
anywhere and
Right.
that would have happened to you.
And that's the thing where I'm just like, yeah, that's a much more like my ADHD, or maybe I just like fell into this weird trance, or maybe it was like hyperventilating a little bit, and or I was just breathing weird. Like, there's a million different reasons why that particular set of things could have happened where I had that out of body experience, but also I don't actually have an explanation for it. So who the fuck knows? Is where I ended up running into it. I was just like, well, I don't have actual information on this, so I will just
So
wait.
how, like, was it a range of ages, or was it like in your teens that it mostly happened?
So that one was in my teens. The strand happened when I was like 20, I want to say like 26, 27, something like that. So I was a decent chunk older when that shit happened, and that's where I was like, this is more real than I thought it was going to be. And then the church thing was another one where it happened, the church thing I said happened in my teens. The Alaire thing happened after that. It was like late teens, early 20s. I know, I was like 18. That's when I was.
Did you feel like you had any questionable experiences either very recently or before in the church?
No, that was one of the ones where I was like,
okay, good. My house is not haunted, everybody.
Yeah. But that was one of those things to me where I was just like, the church one was like, this could just happen anytime. And, you know, like, because I've also known about, like, people falling into meditative trances out of nowhere. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I understand that. Like, to me, this makes sense.
See, I feel like I have had, the experience of meditative trances before, because I've definitely, I feel like I have. That's the best way I can say it. I don't know for sure, but I might have, and it did not feel like an out-of-body experience for me. So I don't know. Maybe I haven't had one, or maybe it was an out-of-body experience for you.
It was one of those ones where it could have been, it could have not been. I could have been in the trance type state, and I just, for some reason it just let me, I don't know, not enhance my hearing. That sounds weird and lame, but I don't know. It's just one of those things where I was like, that's a weird thing that, there are natural reasons for it. And I had a similar experience to that one. I was just out in the woods, doing photography, because that was a hobby of mine at the time. And I was just like, let's go out, walk this nature trail, see stuff. And I had not the weird out of body experience that I had in the church, but more like, all right, I'm really feeling nature right now in a weird way. What do you want from me, man?
Feeling nature in
I
a
couldn't
weird
tell
way.
what was happening to Heather. At first I was like, is she sneezing? Is she having a seizure? You're just here.
No, so I don't know, either I liken it to the meditative state stuff, because I was just I don't know, in my head I could imagine how plants must feel for some reason. It was weird.
Were you on acid?
No. I haven't done acid. And it's one of the few ones I won't take.
You know what? Sorry. Shrooms. That would be more appropriate for the nature walk.
Again, never.
Yes.
Still hasn't.
If you're gonna do a nature walk, it's gotta be shrooms.
Mhm.
Gotta be.
Still didn't do that till I met you, and this happened a long time before I met you.
Did you feel the energy of the earth?
No.
Heather, why are you being such a sassy bitch right now?
Yeah, like
I don't know.
I feel like what we're
you
learning
believe
is
so many things, and yet this one specific thing you're just making fun of like it's no one's business. Like
No,
other
no.
weird shit has not happened.
I know. No, I love
There's
nature.
something got into her. I think the ghost has just been sitting there just fucking chilling, tickling her. God damn.
I don't know what
Jesus.
happened. I just woke up apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
I think you've reached like that second wind of being tired,
Yeah.
where you're getting into
Get
delirium.
overtired.
True. Fair.
Overtired.
I might be.
But yeah, that was another one where I was just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too much about stuff. Like, I don't know. But they're like, that's where I was like, the other two things that had happened were like legit weird. I saw something that shouldn't have been there type of stuff. Whereas the other stuff was more like, that was kind of weird. And then I shook it off.
See, I know my own personal internal ghost detector is way off all the time because I always think shit's haunted.
Yes, you do.
If it's even got a tiny creepy factor. I walked a nature trail, like not very far from my house. I walked a nature trail in my early 20s by myself, and in daylight, and I thought it was haunted. I thought I was gonna die.
I mean, like,
There's
daytime creeps in woods.
Oh,
They're
Like,
far.
I mean, like,
But they're
spooky
normally
things.
people.
I mean, people
Yeah.
too, but like creepy people. And
above.
but there's also like daytime creepy creatures.
Right.
If we're talking paranormal, if you believe in that, because like, I think a Wendigo or a Skinwalker doesn't have to be at night. It just has to be in the
doesn't,
forest.
no. But also another so to me, the feeling that you got could either have been you think you're gonna die all the time anyways, which is natural for you.
Anxiety.
That's just what I live with.
Could have been a deer staring at you
But-
menacingly.
Yeah. It could have. No, it didn't even have to be a deer. It could have been a blue jay in a tree just looking at her like, fuck that bitch in particular.
No, okay, I'm not that big of a coward. I am a coward. I am
yes.
not that big of a coward.
I don't have any proof to the opposite, so I don't know. But the other thing, like, to me, especially with nature stuff in the daytime, and if you feel like afraid and like you're gonna die, that could be some fae shit. Like if we're talking general supernatural, because honestly, like fae stuff isn't something that I like believe in, but at the same time, there's a certain amount of superstition that, as for some unknown reason, I will follow and will never doubt. Just no. You're never seeing me go into a mushroom circle. You're never see it, like, nothing like that. Even the people of Ireland will pave around mushroom circles because they are still suspicious of it in the modern day. They refuse. It is a weird supernatural spiritual law thing in Ireland where it's just like, oh, you see a mushroom circle, you avoid that fucker.
I wonder. I've never actually looked into fae stuff. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know anything about face stuff, and we could do an episode on that.
yeah,
You should check it out because there are definitely some things that either like not directly mirror, but like somewhat match up with a lot of the other spooky supernatural shit that goes on. But one of the main things about the Fae is they know that it's just like the rules run different in the Fae. So, like, taking a gift from someone is a binding form of contract. Talking to them at all and responding to them gives them license to attack you. Like, there are so many different rules in Fae and supernatural shit.
Isn't like don't give it your name one of them?
Never say your name in front of a Fae. Ever.
Which
It's
is
similar-
terrifying, because if Fae actually existed, we tell everybody our names all the time.
Oh no, I don't.
I don't think
I
I've
just
used my
say-
name in a very long time.
I say my own name like as like you don't know jack shit, like stuff like that.
I don't even say my
use-
name like to doctors.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
introduce yourself is more what I'm talking about.
I don't
don't-
introduce
yes, but
myself with
I'm
my
not
name
that
because my name's
polite.
hard,
I
and
don't-
95% of the people aren't able to say it anyway.
I'm just saying, I'm not walking around just saying my name randomly into the universe, but like, you meet people and you tell them your name.
Yeah. No, I meet people all the time. I don't tell them my fucking name. What are you, nuts?
I meet
refu-
people and I
I'll-
say like a nickname or my last name because again, my first name is hard to say for a lot of people. So
I don't even say my name. I'm just like,
all right.
hi.
Bonnie
And then
gets
I
what I
had-
mean because we work office jobs, okay?
Yeah,
But
no,
also, you two have very common names. Actually, Jack has a very common name. I think I'm the only one who gets away free on this.
That's true.
you might, yeah.
Actually, I'd like to point out my name is more common among men than it is among women.
Is it? Like, statistically?
Oh, like legit.
Oh,
Unless you
wow.
go to Ireland. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
it was until it took me I was 19 in college, and that's when I finally met somebody else with my name spelled the same way. And then I didn't meet anybody else until a couple years ago.
see, growing up Irish, like, to me, it is a normal thing. Like, your name is not that unusual. I have a cousin with your exact name.
In
And
But you're
she-
Irish.
in high school, the girl who sat in front of me who had your name, and the boy who sat in front of her. So it was
but
the
you
boy
guys
with the name,
are-
the girl with the name.
You guys were up north though, right?
Yeah.
There's more Irish Catholics up north.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm gonna pause this real quick because apparently, maybe the dog shit in the basement. I don't know.
Oh no. Well, you know what? Avani
mean-
has to pee. I have
Yeah,
to
we're
pee.
good here anyway. It's been 2 hours. I can cut that up 50 minutes each. 50 minutes each. It's 2 episodes.
So we at least have 2 episodes in the book. We're gonna try to record more next week, or...
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. If you liked what you heard and want to hang out with us some more, be sure to check out our page where you can find links to our other shows and projects. Bye!